And at the SCO summit, the Modi-Putin bonhomie on display in China. At the SCO meet, Putin called PM Modi, "My dear friend." This is the news that's coming in from the SCO summit as India and Russia hold bilaterals. Prime Minister Modi and Putin hold bilateral talks on the side of the SCO summit. Putin calls PM Modi, "My dear friend." Hails the India-Russia bonhomie, says meeting Modi has always been memorable. Let's listen into what has been said at the SCO summit.
1 декабря исполняется 15 лет со дня принятия совместного заявления, в котором отмечен выход наших отношений на уровень особого привилегированного стратегического партнерства. И можно уверенно констатировать, что многоплановые российско-индийские связи активно развиваются на этих принципах.
And this is the India-Russia bonhomie on full display as Modi is called a dear friend by Putin. Remember, this the India-Russia bonhomie has been on full display. The Prime Minister rode in the same car as President Putin while heading to the bilateral talks after the SCO summit. It seems to have been a deliberate show of camaraderie, even as America has been making statements about India, Russia and China. And on your screens right now is the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin walking hand in hand, entering the SCO summit. Remember, the fact that India and Russia held a separate bilateral has been a very important move as far as India's position on international issues is concerned. The Prime Minister is also said to have told Russia that the two countries have worked together in the toughest of circumstances. Putin has hailed Narendra Modi and India, the cooperation between the two countries, and the bilateral talks have been extremely important on the sidelines of the 25th Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the SCO summit. The Prime Minister has also posted on X about the carpool. That was an unusual move to show the closeness between the two countries, with the Prime Minister taking to X, saying that after the proceedings, President Putin and I traveled together to the venue of our bilateral meeting. Conversations with him are always insightful. This is a statement to show the friendship between the two countries. It was a strategic move done in the face of US President Donald Trump's statements, in face of the US's continued criticism of India-Russia relationship, and with Putin also specifically calling Prime Minister Modi a dear friend. This bonhomie that has been on display is a clear message going on to the world stage about the close ties between India and Russia. Gaurav Sawant is joining me on this story. Gaurav, a very, very important show of friendship that we've seen between India and Russia at the SCO summit. How are you seeing this? What has been India's stance here at the SCO summit, especially when it comes to our relationship with Russia and with China?
So when we talk about Russia and Asia, this is a time-tested relationship. This is a relationship that's held India in good stead. In fact, both countries in good stead. Historically, India and Russia have been very close strategic partners. They've elevated their relationship to close, privileged strategic partnership. And as part of that, Russian President Vladimir Putin will be coming to India later this year. Around, we're told, sometimes mid-December, he'll be in India for the annual bilateral summit. the fact that India continues to buy oil from Russia despite tremendous pressure from the United States, despite people like Pete Navarro calling this Modi's war on Ukraine and not Russia's war on Ukraine, if at all, it just goes on to indicate that India is also sending out a bigger message to the United States of America that India, we have 1.4 billion people and America cannot browbeat India. You cannot use these tactics to bully India into submission. That clearly is not happening. The fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin, after the Tianjin summit right here, they traveled in the same car to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, to the Russian President's hotel, had a 40-minute long meeting, even longer, and discussed various things. So what are key areas? India and Russia cooperation is not just about buying oil from Russia. In fact, before 2022, India hardly bought any oil from Russia. It's cooperation in space technology, for example, cooperation in defense, that's very important. Something that's not talked about in public domain. It's cooperation in nuclear energy, or the nuclear submarine that India has on lease, INS Chakra. That's the kind of close cooperation between India and Russia. Look at the BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles that held India in good stead during Operation Sindoor. Those missiles were conceptualized as a joint venture between India and Russia. Russian technology, Indian money, joint operations, subsequently manufactured in India. And now India is exporting those missiles to other countries. Or the S-400 systems. That's a missile defense shield. But for the first time, during Operation Sindoor, they were used in an offensive role where a Pakistani aircraft, more than 324 kilometers deep inside Pakistani territory, was brought down by the S-400 system. So that's the kind of cooperation that India and Russia share. And India's message to the United States or to the rest of the world is very clear. We will not sacrifice this partnership, whatever be the pressure that may come from the United States of America.